We're gonna do a
You guys there? Hello. Hope y'all watching this video. Like, subscribe, show all your friends. What? We got some big news. Let them know.
So Houston convinced me yesterday to go test drive a Ford and a Dodge. So we want to give you guys the similarities, what we liked about them, and just with an open mind, we went and looked at all of them, honestly. I think both of us went into it not really caring for Ford, and it kind of changed our perspective on it.
But let me tell you. Let me set this up. Let me get this rolling.
Yeah, it kind of changed our perspective on it, honestly. Like, so obviously we have a Chevy, which is basically the same thing as GMC.
But check it out. If you guys don't know, go watch our last videos. Watch that.
Why we're truckless. You'll figure it out from the last video, or the video at the end of the video at the end of this. We'll have it attached, and you'll figure it out. So we have a 2024 Chevy Silverado 3500 HD LTZ. The reason why we need it is we have 4 children, so there's 6 people in our family, and we need the middle seat,
the jumper seat. And
so we looked at vehicles all the way around, like Ford, Dodge, that had that seat or had the capability of having that seat. So we went to Ford
and tested out a 2024 350.
Honestly, I was walking into it open-minded, but a lot of people have been bad-mouthing this dealership. We're not going to say the dealerships.
No, because the guy that we dealt with was very, very nice.
But honestly, it changed our perspective. We knew one of the salesmen from the Ford dealership, and the other one, he was awesome. Like, honestly, so this is the thing. So he just drove the Ford. I like how the Ford handled. So I sat back here behind Houston, and then we brought the boys. So I liked how the Ford handled. The Ford handled a lot more like sturdy.
It felt,
it was more like sturdy when it hit bumps and stuff. With the Silverado, we're like this more, like we bounce more. And I'm sure that could be fixed with other things, but as it stands, you know, like
from the factory,
like factory wide, I think a Ford suspension is pretty up there, honestly.
Pretty sturdy.
It's really sturdy.
And
had a lot of room, and you didn't have to have, what was it? It was a crew cab, right?
Yeah, it was a crew cab, long bed.
It was a crew cab, long bed. So we were looking at 2.
SXT, I think.
Right? Honestly, and price-wise, Fords are really good. So we looked at 2024, so the same thing as ours. So we looked at a 2024 Ford
F-350.
SLT, right?
SXT, I think.
Okay. And then we looked at a Dodge.
Oh, that was 2024, 3500, high output. It was a dually, and we test drove that, and we definitely went in open-minded. I am a Dodge guy previously. Olivia has always been Chevy.
Anybody that drives down the road has to admit, a Chevy and a GMC, the front end looks really nice.
Yeah.
Honestly, the way GMC and Chevy have evolved over time, they've done pretty good. You look at a Ford, and I don't know. You have to be a Ford person is a Ford person. But us walking into it open-minded, we loved the salespeople. They were amazing, which was surprising from all the stuff we heard, right?
Yeah, and they wanted to help us out, and they even gave us like, we just did an estimate, a quote.
So there was 2 different ones we were looking at. They were both white. Same package. One had fifth wheel prep, one didn't, and then the other one was a little bit lower of a package, right?
Yes, and one had cameras, rear view cameras, blind spot monitoring.
Didn't have view. It was just here.
No, it had the 360 view. Remember?
Oh yeah, it did. So 360 view. Was it heated steering wheel or no?
I don't even know, because I was so impressed just how it rode.
Honestly, both of us were really impressed. If I was to do this all over again, price-wise, a Ford is not a bad deal. So here's the reason that we were kind of is the screen is smaller than this van's screen. But it's like this big. So like when you're doing it for like work or whatever, it's not bad screen. But when you're doing it for like a luxury vehicle or your everyday vehicle, it kind of stinks to have a screen this big.
But hey, let's just say you're jumping into full-time RVing and you want to get into it. And
one of them was
go,
55,000, and for a freaking truck that's a diesel, that's a heavy duty, 55,000.
That's a freaking steal.
Is not freaking bad.
And if you don't think that is a steal, go watch some other YouTube videos of
55,000 with fifth wheel prep. And the only thing that we didn't like either, it was cloth seats, but
they were going to take care of that for us.
You can go to like different places and they'll put you know, like leather over it or whatever. It had blind spot monitoring.
Yeah.
Which is something that if we were ever to upgrade our truck, which if stuff keeps going the way it is, we might have to. Blind spot monitoring is a must for us. What else? There was a couple other things that we really want. Oh, fifth wheel prep, blind spot monitoring. We wanted more room in the back.
So that's where the Dodge came in.
Yeah, so these are all the reasons. The reasons that we like. Obviously, if we're leaving a truck that we've only owned for 10 months, we want to have more than what we have in that truck.
Yes.
So we don't have fifth wheel prep in our current truck, and if we were ever to go to a fifth wheel.
Hey guys, so we have to.
So we're parked. We're not driving, obviously. No. But this is like the easiest place to do it with 2 little kids. So the things that we needed in that truck, in the truck we have currently, if we were to upgrade, what would make us happy to upgrade? Blind spot monitoring, fifth wheel prep.
I don't want to lose nothing that I have now.
More backseat space.
Just because, so if we
have
don't
a 13-year-old,
and he is getting bigger. He's getting a little taller. Yeah, and our daughter, she's only 6 years old, and she's freaking tall.
Like she's like a first or second grader. She's pretty big. So yeah, those are the things. I feel like there's something else that we wanted to.
A sunroof. I mean,
honestly, we really didn't look for a sunroof in the vehicles we test drove, but we were talking, we would just want this to be a sunroof, just because, like, content-wise, I've watched some creators, and the sunroof is
throw the Insta360 out there. And...
That's pretty cool. So, Ford, I'm not going to bash on them. The dealership, people bash on it locally, and I have no problem with that dealership. Service people were nice.
We even met the service manager. She came and personally met us. She was freaking phenomenal.
Okay, so here's our thing. The only thing with Ford, we would definitely buy from that dealership, but here's the thing. If we want the center seat, we have to go with a lower package.
Yes.
And me and Houston both, if it's going to be Houston's forever truck, if it's going to, you know, like, be our forever truck as a family, we want something that has a little bit more to it. Not like a work truck. It was more work truck.
Trucky.
Lower end in price and work truck, but it handled really well. You could tell it was like sturdier, I feel.
The steering was a little different. I mean, there was just a little, it was just a little bit different.
The way it rode was pretty nice. Like, it like when we're on the truck, it bounces.
I think that might just be because I put the new tires and...
No, but Houston put sumo springs, and if we were ever to do that again, we would want, like, airbags. So we're going... Now we test drove a Dodge.
Well,
so
we
the thing
did this all on the same day.
we didn't like about the Fords, too, is they only had 2 white trucks. And me and Houston, like, white is always, like, a work truck, in my opinion. My dad was landscaper, and white is always, like, a work truck.
Yeah.
So we went to Dodge. Houston's kind of set on a dually.
I kind of want a dually just because we want to upgrade and go bigger. And we do. We have been throwing some teasers out there. So if you are watching this...
Honestly, our next couple videos will probably be about Forest River, and you guys will want to watch that.
Man.
But...
We're
pretty surprised. We're pretty surprised. But anyways, so we went to the Dodge dealership. It was what color is that?
Demonic red.
It was a demonic red dually, 3500. What else?
High output.
What was it?
The Laramie.
It wasn't a what's it? I always want to say crew cab. What's it?
It was a.
It was a crew cab.
It was crew cab.
But what's the one you want?
I want to find me a mega cab.
So we test drove that, and so in the Ford, I had more room in the back with the boys than I did in the crew cab of the Dodge. I was way more like what I am now in here. My knees were to Houston's seat. In the Ford, I wasn't even touching your seat at all.
Really?
And that one was a crew cab.
Yeah, they're both crew cabs.
I feel like Ford is more spacious. So Ford-wise, if we were to get a Ford, we would get what we test drove. We really liked the Ford 350.
Yep. I liked the.
Honestly, we would have probably went with the fifth wheel prep because that was $55,000. We paid almost $80 for our Chevy. $55,000. It's because they're marking it down because they're trying to get rid of their 2024s. But $55,000 is a pretty freaking good deal. So the Dodge Wide, when we came back, we went and looked at a mega cab. I understand why Houston likes the mega cabs now.
They look good.
It's not even look good. Like, you have more space, like, just space-wise.
Then you
like,
get space behind the seat.
Storage-wise.
Storage-wise.
So I was thinking, mentally, I didn't tell Houston this yet, but, like, you know, like, what happens when we don't have, or what happens if we're in a fifth wheel, or what happens if we don't have a tonneau cover, and we want to put stuff in there. Not everything always fits in front of the kids, because we have a 13.6, you know what I mean, and the boys. So, not everything always fits there. So there's some space back there. You can fit some stuff.
I would like to put maybe my toolkit back there.
There's space. You know? Then you don't have to worry about leaving it in your camper. When people have universal keys to your camper, then they have access to your pass-throughs, and I don't like that. Yeah. So I like to have it in the truck. I don't know.
I really like the Dodge. I like that.
So Dodge, you get a full screen, not the little teeny screen. You get the full screen. It has a, honestly, coming from Chevy, I really like Chevy and GMC. There's a lot more technology.
You can say, hey Ram, hey Ram,
hey Ram, hey truck or something, and it'll turn on like other competitors. You know, like home places where you can say hey, and it'll turn on. It'll turn the whole thing on. It's crazy, crazy. And so, honestly, so we looked at 2024, and we haven't looked at the 2025s yet, so we don't know.
We have yet.
We really haven't looked, because honestly, this is the best time to buy a 2024.
Yeah.
In my opinion, they were all marked.
I agree.
They were all marked down pretty good, and I feel like the car market is a little weird right now. With everything going on, there's a lot of stuff going on with Dodge. There's a lot of stuff going on with Chevy and GMC. I haven't really heard much about Ford, have you?
No.
But so
I haven't heard really.
So if we were to go Ford route, we would get a lot less technology. The trucks are more expensive. We would have spent $80.
For what?
How much was that one truck that we wanted?
For the Dodge.
Oh, sorry. Ford wise, we would have spent 60 to 55.
Yes.
Chevy, we spent 80. Dodge wise, we would have spent what? How much is the Dodge?
I think about 80.
Yeah. So, you know, you have
77 is what the tag
So you're
says.
paying for the extra
bells and
whistles. And some people don't want that, some people do. I honestly test drive a Ford because it will surprise you.
No, she's not wrong. I mean, that was probably, and I like how it has you had a boost gauge, a turbo gauge, just to know that your turbos are working. I mean, you could hear them, of course, but you want to watch your if you
and that's the
watch
big thing
gauges,
with Chevys is because it doesn't have that, right?
Yeah, it doesn't have nothing like that. It doesn't have your boost temps or nothing, but the Ford did, and it was a lower edition of my truck.
My dad, when I was growing up, he had a Chevy Love. He had an older, like, 80s Chevy. I always forget what it is. Like a square body.
Yeah.
And then, as work trucks, he would always have a Ford. So I'm always, like, partial towards Ford, but I've never really liked, like, the body style, to be honest. Like, you're either a Ford person or you're not. You like the body style or you don't.
Yeah. And
so I've always owned Chevy Suburban, Chevy Silverado. So, like, I like the front of the trucks. But, honestly, if you don't want to spend a crap ton of money, a Ford could really work for a lot of people. And
they could tow a lot of weight. I mean, for the most part. And
so that's kind of our view of not our review that doesn't have our opinion. Now our opinion is what the situation we're in. So if they were to come up with a part, would you keep your Silverado?
If they come up with a part, would I keep my truck? I don't know.
See,
because this part is going to go out again, right?
They don't have like a fix-all for this yet, and so that's the scary part is like, you want a truck to be reliable, and now like we're stuck in this limbo. Like we have 4 kids, we can't be stuck on the side of the road all the time. And I think that's the frustrating part too. If they put a new transmission, what is going to happen? The part can go out again
at 20,000 miles or 10.
So then it's like a ticking time bomb. We're just driving down the road with a ticking time bomb. And so I think, honestly, this is my opinion, and we haven't even discussed it yet. This is like really raw footage, honestly. I think if they were to give us a new transmission or the part, we probably would just roll with the truck and then fix our finances a little bit and maybe trade it in, honestly. He wants a Dodge. I'm kind of in, like, coming from a perspective of, like, I wasn't going in like I wanted one truck or another. I would honestly probably trade the truck if we continue to have issues for a Dodge. But right now, like we have camper payments, we have truck payments. So, you know, I don't see it working out financially for us to trade it in right now. But if we continue to have issues, reliability is more important in our opinion. So, we're kind of stuck in a rock and a hard place.
And we need our truck back, like.
So our opinion is he does the research. He really does. He did do the research. This hasn't really been a major problem until right around now, right?
No, it's been a problem.
But you never saw it, right?
I never saw it until I joined like all these forums, and so a lot of people have this problem with the Chevys, and a lot of people have the grid heaters on the Dodges.
You know what I think? Remember the white Suburban?
Yeah.
So there's this big grade in Laramie, and this is exactly what happened to us. We went in limp mode. I think that happened to the Suburban too, because they have the same transmissions, right? It went from the 8-speed with that Suburban to the Allison with our red one, and we were feeling the same shifting that
8 to
truck.
10 speed, and it was doing that weird stuff.
So I don't know if, like, obviously we're not mechanics. I've been to auto shop. He's done auto shop. He's done college auto shop. I did high school. I think that if you don't like listen to your truck or take it in, that could mess up the whole transmission, and that's why we had to replace it in the white Suburban. Yeah. And then the red Suburban, we got rid of it before we had a problem. Now this, and that's coming in with I loved my Suburban, I would do it again type situation. Now I'm kind of like, this kind of stinks.
I'm kind of just waiting on somebody to make me a deal on a good Dodge.
Well, and that's what stinks now is, like, obviously they've ordered the part, so it's on your VIN. So he got quoted, I mean, we don't owe a crazy amount, but we owe a little bit. He got quoted $50,000 for our truck. We've only owned it 10 months.
Yeah, and that was Loveland Ford or something. But yeah, we need our truck back by the end of this month, or because we got places to go. We're just making a video about our life and how well it's been.
Honestly, it was a luck of the draw. Houston found that truck. He fell in love with it. I was pushing Chevy a little bit hard, and he chose that one. It was kind of both of our decision, and now we're in this boat.
I really wanted a Dodge, and he said, "There's no way we're gonna get a Dodge." I said, "Okay." So I fell in love with that truck, and I love it. I haven't seen another one that looks just like mine. Nobody has a truck that looks as good as mine.
We had a problem with your Dodge,
but it was a 2017 Dodge 1500. It was lifted on 35s with a rough country lift that they put on halfly. Yeah. They didn't put it on fully, correct. Yeah, but back to that dually. I've never driven a dually, and that thing was sweet. I mean, the ride wasn't bad. It was a little bit in between the Ford and the Chevy, I think, the ride. But tell them about the airbags.
So it kind of comes with the thing that got Houston, and I saw it when he said it. It doesn't come with airbags per se, but it comes with a way that the truck comes down a little bit so that you can lower the truck to meet your rig or your trailer.
Which is crazy cool. Yeah.
So honestly, suspension-wise, Dodge and Ford are pretty neck and neck. Our Silverado didn't have the greatest. It was alright. Yeah. And then, I don't know. it kind of just gave us a lot to think about.
So our plate is full. If you guys know, as you guys see, our plate's really full, and not a lot of time to really figure out what's going on. We're in time crunch now. So I'm picking Dodge. What are you picking? You said Dodge, right? You did.
Really?
You did. Yeah, the video caught it.
Okay, so I don't know.
Hey, get out of there, Papa.
Dodge is nice because it had the air. I don't know about a dually. Honestly, we were interchangeable with the dually. So Houston was really set on a dually, and I'm like, I don't know, it just feels so wide. Like, if we wanted to go to Maine or Massachusetts, the roads are little, so that's a big thought process too. So it was like in between a Dodge dually or a Dodge single wheel, a Dodge mega cab or a Dodge crew cab. I like the mega cab. We could do with the dually or not, but Houston wants a dually, but I don't really care either way. He's the one driving it. Yeah, I feel like he just goes bigger and bigger because then I won't drive it.
Yes. Maybe she has a point.
But
no, I don't know. If you guys have ever traveled the East Coast, you have a
honestly,
dually.
if we were to do it again and we wanted to go cheap, I would probably get a Ford. But now that we've been on the road, we know what we want. We're
definitely open to options. We're going in open-minded. We don't have a really set company that we would go with on the back end.
I think Ruben, please stop doing that.
We'll turn off all those ones, Papa.
You're going to fill the battery on the van.
I know, and then we're going to have a dead battery. So, I don't know. I'm thinking...
You'll see after these weeks play out, we're waiting on a few things from GM that we don't want to tell you guys about yet. We'll tell you guys once we hear stuff. Our advisor's supposed to call today. We're hoping for the best. I've been in touch with the owner of the dealership. I've been in touch with my lien holder, the bank that I bought the truck through.
Yeah, we've covered all our bases.
We've called everybody, so we will definitely see. And yeah.
But
until then,
like, subscribe, show our friends. Don't miss out. Hit that follow button because we we appreciate it, and we definitely want you guys to follow along this journey. And see you guys on the next one. So don't miss out. Hit that follow button, please.